Right wing time on the player power rankings as I chart the top 10 players in the world position by position. And this is an awesome list of players. There are players, I'll tell you what, I'll bring it up straight away as I talk about this. This was the top 10 last time. Thing is, if you watched the previous video in the channel, you will know that Kurtley Arendse has moved across to the left wing because that's where South Africa play him now. Equally, spoiler alert, Will Jordan is now being played fullback by New Zealand. So he is on the fullback list, which is still to come. By the way, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe on the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. But tell me who the best right winger in the world is. There are players dropping out because they haven't played. Look at Emiliano Buffelli. He was dropped right down from near the top to the bottom because he's barely played and looks like he's an outsider now for Argentina. There are players going off the list like Arendse and Jordan, but Mark Talea, Cheslin Colby, they didn't appear on the left wing list because they're now played on the right wing. So where are they going to appear on this list? Who's going up? Who's going down? Tell me what you think. Number 10, I've gone for Andrew Kellaway. Every match for Australia in 2024. And yes, Australia have got Marika Korobete, who is incredible. Daugunu as well. Amazing. These guys have massive upsides on their play. Actually, Dylan Peach looks like a really good player in the making as well. But those guys, Korobete, Daugunu, have great upsides. And if they get a run of games, make no mistake, they'll be on these lists. But Andrew Kellaway has been dependable. He has been available. He has played game time. And in what was a tricky year but turned around, he's been a big part of that for Australia. And the fact he can slot in several positions, outside centre, fullback, makes him a really useful squad member. So he gets in my top 10 as Andrew Kellaway. Dropping down to number 9, Sevu Reece. Still only 27. He's played a fair bit of rugby and he's got time to win that starting jersey back again. But he's now kind of second choice. Mark Talea is back on the right wing. And that's all been brought about. And Sevu Reece is maybe back up now for New Zealand because Caleb Clarke has had such a meteoric rise in 2024 and played so well. He has had plenty of rugby through 2024. He started those test matches against England. Good try in that first test. But yeah, Mark Talea and him battling it out for the right wing shirt is going to be an interesting one to watch. Sevu Reece, is he going to be dropping down the list and out of it maybe? Or is he going to be going back up? We'll wait and see. Up a position over Sevu Reece to number 8 is Darcy Graham. I mean, 5 tries in 4 games in November. Admittedly, 4 of them against Fiji and the other one against Portugal. But, I mean, such a fun player to watch. Just footwork. He could step you in a phone box. Hardly played since the Rugby World Cup. Came back in, had a couple of games for Edinburgh, and then boom, he's in scoring tries for fun for Scotland. And the 14 jersey, well, that is a battle that he's been having with Kyle Steyn. And Kyle Steyn could be a player I mention in a minute. Injured for the start of the Six Nations. So Darcy Graham will be able to go and have that little battle with Duhan van der Merwe for Scotland's top try scorer as they start the tournament. At number 7, staying where he is, Mack Hansen was back in November and hadn't Ireland missed him. He hadn't played since the Rugby World Cup for them, but was back in November and just things felt right when he's there. The balance just feels right. Quite often a player, I talked about this with James Lowe on the left winger list. Mack Hansen gets used in a way that many wingers aren't used. Andy Farrell's quite creative, but also just knows the skill set that Mack Hansen has got. He steps in as a second receiver quite a lot. Off of his wing, second receiver, makes the extra man count, creates space for other people outside him. And he's so important. Can kick, good under the high ball, work rate, and just a really interesting character. I'm sure he's one of the most popular members of the squad. Glad to see him back in November, and I'm delighted he's around for the Six Nations this year because we missed him last year. Number 6, Raphael Storti, down a spot. That's due to players that are coming in the list. What a player! 24 years of age. He was insane during the Rugby World Cup, and again, this list is based on current and recent form and historic form, and a bit of gut feeling as well. And when a player plays for a tier 2 nation like Portugal, they're off the radar a little bit and quite easy just to forget about. But I'm going with some gut feeling and historic and recent form for this one, all mixed in. He got 2 tries in 2 test matches for Portugal in November, including a try against Scotland. I'm hoping he gets more games for Stade Francais in the top 14 because he tore it up in the French second division. Scored, I think he had more tries than appearances last season. And he is just such a good player. So for now, Raphael Storti still at number 6. Kyle Steyn stays where he is at number 5. The guy cannot catch a break, though. Great in the Six Nations. Missed the November tests. Gets back fit. Looks really good for Glasgow. Looks like he's never been away. Good. Kyle Steyn's there for the Six Nations for Scotland. Oh no, he's got another little injury. Only a small injury, so it will only keep him out of a couple of games, hopefully. And the reason that's important, it's a British and Irish Lions year. And honestly, I've made the argument before on the channel that Kyle Steyn is the best of Scotland's wingers. Now, that seems like a strange thing to say with Duhan van der Merwe, but I talked about it in relation to Duhan van der Merwe. He does all of the incredible highlight reel stuff. Kyle Steyn does all of the things which are so important, but maybe don't get you an incredible highlights video. Kick chase, defence, work rate is massive for Scotland. So that's a real loss for them. Hopefully he gets back soon and can prove what he's worth, because there is an outside. I thought there was an outside shot. He could go with the Lions. Starting to feel like that might be an opportunity that's going to be missed for him. But if he can get back and fit, it's not going to be an opportunity that's missed for Emmanuel Feiwa-Boso, who had a blistering 2024. What a breakthrough year for him. He scored a couple of tries he played a couple of games in November before getting injured, and he's going to miss the Six Nations now, which is such a shame, because when he came in at the end of the Six Nations 2024, what a difference he made. That win against Ireland, Feiwa-Boso was a freak. And then he did exactly the same against New Zealand 3 times in 2024, scoring a try against the All Blacks every single time he played them, and such a threat in attack. He is just a ball of muscle, rapid, footwork, 22 only, World Breakthrough Player of the Year nominee, rightly so, and a big part of England's future. Hopefully for the British and Irish Lions as well. We will see. Into the top 3, Mark Telea moves across from the list of left wingers. Now, he plays right wing for the Blues, doesn't he? And he looks really good there in Super Rugby. And he just feels right on the right wing for New Zealand as well. It just feels more balanced. Whether Will Jordan is still used there on the right wing, or whether Scott Robertson focuses on Will Jordan mainly as a fullback, that remains to be seen. So whatever happens, there's a battle on for the jerseys. The New Zealand back 3 options are ridiculously good. And Caleb Clark, Sevu Reece, Mark Telea, Will Jordan, and then Beauden Barrett, D-Mac that can play fullback as well as others. It's going to be an interesting one. He's going to have to play very well to keep his spot, but it just felt and looked right in November in those tests. And if he carries on, he'll stay where he is, high up the list of right wingers. Top 2, Damien Penaud off the top spot. He missed November, which is probably the main reason. And the France don't take their frontline players away in July. So his last rugby was in the Six Nations. I think he got the 1 try in that tournament. France weren't at their best. Damien Penaud is a ridiculous talent. He has, there's some statistic, it's something like 75% of all attempted tackles on Damien Penaud are missed. He is the most elusive winger in World Rugby, easily. He is absolutely elite. And the fact that he's at number 2 on this or any list just tells you how good the number 1 is. And the battle, if they both continue playing on the right wing, then the battle between these two for the top spot in the next year or two is going to be so fun to watch, because they are both amazing. Penaud could absolutely be back on top, number 1. But the number 1 is Cheslin Kolbe. I mean, had to be. For 2024, in a close run thing, when the margins are really fine, I've had to just look at the 2024 and say Cheslin Kolbe was absolutely immense. I mean, in the Rugby Championship, for example, he only got, just like Damien Penaud, I think only got the 1 try in the Six Nations, but was amazing. Cheslin Kolbe just got the 1 try in the Rugby Championship. He was incredible. He did it all. He was throwing in at the line out. He was a scrum half. And of course, doing just Cheslin Kolbe things, footwork, running like a gazelle that's trying to get away from a pride of lions out in the bush. He is insane. One of the best rugby players on the planet. Deservedly in the number 1 spot. For now, Penaud will have something to say about that in the Six Nations. And that is a pretty tidy list, don't you reckon? Anyone I've missed out? Anyone I've forgotten? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. I will see you on the next one. which will be fullback. The final one.